Hey everybody, so I am on a little trip. I pretty much got so disgusted with how stupid people are that I said screw it, and I told my wife to just get a hotel because I am so it is just ridiculous, the stuff I deal with. So anyway, I'm shooting this video in one take because I don't even know if I can edit it, right? So I brought a laptop with me, but the laptop is crap. I don't even know if I can get my editing software on the laptop. But before I left, I grabbed some tuners, right? I have the Super Cruzes tuner. This is a budget tuner. And then I have an EFI Live tuner because I used to use Bad News Racing. And basically, I was accused through a friend of mine. So what I can't stand that's happening is Bad News Racing will complain to anybody who will listen that poor them, right? Poor Bad News Racing. And the new accusation is that me using this Alien Tech handheld, the reason I'm using Alien Tech is I want nothing to do with Bad News Racing. That somehow, with a completely different platform, I'm somehow stealing Bad News Racing tunes. Okay, fine. The new accusation is that I'm somehow stealing tunes and pawning them off, that I'm basically using Bad News Racing tunes to sell as my Super Cruzes tune, right? So then the thing is, okay, if that's happening, then how is it possible if it's done on a completely different platform, right? So Jerry's new thing now is, oh, Dave is stealing tunes and Dave is selling Super Cruzes tunes, but I'm using Bad News Racing tunes to do it, right? Bad News Racing, if somebody buys Bad News Racing through the website, then they're going to get a Bad News Racing product. I know this because when they buy that product, I go to Bad News Racing, and Bad News Racing ends up creating the file, and my customer and Bad News Racing are all together, and the customer receives everything. So when you buy a Super Cruzes tune, I use a completely different platform. I don't do anything related to Bad News Racing. If you look at the videos on my YouTube channel, and you look, I was having problems with my tuning for years. If I were to take, like, I didn't say anything, right? If I were to take the Bad News Racing files and then put them in a car or a customer's car, there's going to be issues because those files, for starters, were so, like, I had such a lean tuning in the car. In fact, I have another car that has so many problems. I had to go to General Motors and get an original General Motors file in order to start over on the car because I had nothing but air-fuel ratio problems. And that's what drives me crazy. So the crazy thing is when you go and you get a file, I'm gonna move because there's people here. When you go and get a file from Bad News Racing, that's their files. I don't like, that's their files. It only works in EFI Live. It works on a V3 handheld. When you get a Super Cruzes file, that's a custom file written off an OEM ECM file. The customers who want these are people who have no tune. So explain to me how I'm somehow copying Bad News Racing. I don't get it. It doesn't matter what I offer. There's always got to be some kind of drama or bullshit going on Facebook or wherever, right? So I offer a file that's using hardware that has nothing to do with Bad News Racing, right? And even then I have to hear some kind of drama because they're going out and complaining behind my back. At the end of the day, I have had Bad News Racing products on my website for years, right? Well, my old website and my new website's a year old. You see none of my parts on Bad News Racing's website. I have done nothing but help Bad News Racing. But behind the scenes, all of their buddies, all their friends, it's sad because, like, all of the Bad News Racing friends get in Bad News Racing's head and make me out to seem like some kind of bad guy. And then Bad News Racing runs around going basically, ho, I'm a victim. We're a victim because Dave did something to us. I completely stay off Facebook. I completely try to offer products to help my customers. And the thing is like I had to step away more because there's so much drama constantly. And the Bad News Racing friends and fans are constantly dragging my name through the mud that I want nothing to do with it anymore. And you know what? I have customers coming to me telling me that they're trying to get like update files and stuff. And they can't because or there's a problem with their tune and they tell me what's going on and I go diagnose the car and I find that like everything is fine. The customer knows everything is fine, but there's something wrong because the data log showed, right? Or they have a turbo, and because like they're getting emails, the B&R turbo does better than the Super Cruzes turbo, and the customer's just looking for a tune update, right? And I'm trying to entrust B&R to do the tuning, but every time they cause problems for me, I have to move on and do something that's going to protect my customers and myself. If I could trust them, I have no problem putting a bad news racing section on the website, but I'm always met with this drama where I'm accused of copying, and I'm tired of it because I don't even go on other people's websites. I don't care anymore. I don't care what another company is coming out with. I don't care what another company has. I come out with my own parts because customers want me to make stuff for them, my customers. I don't care what other customers, like if a B&R customer has a B&R part, I don't care. But if you're in a B&R group and you have a Super Cruzes part, all of a sudden everybody in the B&R group wants to attack you. Yet in my groups, my Facebook groups, if you have B&R parts, ZZP parts, I don't give anybody a hard time. I have a hard time with the way certain people do things to me online, and then I have to, like, if I have somebody come into my Facebook group and they start attacking me and making up lies, you're gone, you're done. I don't care. I don't want you here. If you're an actual customer who has a problem, contact me. If there's an actual problem and you have advice or you have something to say, it's usually handled and fixed. These people that are publicly causing problems, these people are, half of them are admins for Bad News Racing, and these people are the same people that are out there causing problems. And half of them, most of them aren't even customers, but they always have something to say. And I can't, in order for me to move forward and help my customers, I have to come out with a way to do this. And I started doing my own tuning. And it's so far removed from Bad News Racing that I had to make sure that I didn't use anything. Like, you can clearly see the difference between the two. There's a visual difference between the two, and they run on different operating systems. There's no way that one can copy the other. And the only reason I think that Jerry thinks that's happening is because they're doing the same thing. They're copying other people's tunes. Like, I don't understand. Like, how, if you think that I'm doing it, it's because you know how to do it and you guys are doing it. So if you're going to accuse me, accuse yourself. I don't understand why I have to deal with this. So anyway, I have no way to edit this. I have no idea what it's going to sound like or look like. I don't even care. I had to just take a break because I'm so tired of everything. And that's why I'm here. So I'm going to hopefully get this on the YouTube channel. If I can do any kind of editing, I might. I don't know. Maybe I can make a thumbnail. And I have my own tunes. And the reason why I have my own tunes is because I got tired of dealing with this stuff. You get a turbo from me, you're going to get my tune for the turbo. It's my tune built off an OEM file that I get for a General Motors vehicle. I do not care what's in a car because it's getting deleted. So if there's a B&R file that's in a car, or a ZZP file, or a Vermont tuning file, that file is getting deleted, and we're starting from an OEM file, because it is a mistake if you're going to take a file from another car and use it on a different car. You are asking for problems. And if that's what other companies are doing, and good luck with you guys. I don't want Bad News Racing's tunes in the cars that my customers are running, because I don't want a problem and then I have to have the liability of an engine having a failure or something because there was somehow something copied over. I don't need that. So that's why I'm just starting from scratch. I'm doing my own files, and you know what? If people don't like it, great. If people do like it, great. Whatever. But I'm not on the internet dragging people's names through the mud like you guys are doing, and I can't take it anymore.